So, why do people want to be a doctor? Huh, I'm missing my button. That's weird. Huh, that's weird. Okay, so why do people want to be a doctor? You know, I thought about I might want to be a doctor when I was younger because I just found it fascinating. You know, the wet machine. Mainly, especially after my near-death experience, I understood that the body was just a place of residence, and I was curious about it, and I thought I wanted to be a doctor, not just out of my own curiosity, but I thought, you know, if you save someone's life, I can't tell you the value that has. I cannot tell you the value that has. Even if a doctor only prolongs your life for a few years, being a doctor is one of those professions that is, I believe, exceptional when it comes to the type of people that want to be in there. But, unfortunately, the truth, the unmitigated truth, the actual hard to look at truth is a lot of people want to become doctors because they want to be called doctor. I myself have been the victim of these motherfuckers my whole life. People wanting to be called doctor, but they could give a shit because in truth and reality, they're not a doctor, they're a technician. And I can tell the difference. It takes me very, very little time to understand, are you a doctor or are you just a fucking technician? Unfortunately, you got your TNA doctors, you got your, oh, I do Brazilian butt jobs and that's all I do. Okay, well, that might make it safer for the consumer. If you've done hundreds of Brazilian butt lifts, you're probably the guy I would want to do a Brazilian butt lift, but I can tell you right now, that is no fucking life-saving procedure. That you are in it for the money, honey. Period. Okay? Cosmetic surgery, you're in it for the fucking money. I've seen these bastards do horrible, terrible fucking things to people who have obvious psychological problems, but they don't care. Okay? This kind of reminds me of politicians. You know, there are politicians that go into government thinking, I am going to do this to make my country better, to make my county better, or my state better. I see bad things happening in my county, my state, my country. I want to change those things and make people safer, make the water cleaner, make the air more breathable. I want to stop climate change. I want to have a future for the great-grandchildren of this world. And then you have your politician that's the TNA guy. He's in it because he knows there's power there. He wants to get into elected office, not because he wants to be in elected office. He wants to be outside in the civilian world, making 10 times what he was making as a politician, basically talking to other politicians, making deals in back rooms. The EPA just basically showed exactly who and what they are. So they dropped quite a few of their major cases in Cancer Alley. Why? It's not because of lack of evidence. It's not because there's not a lack of proof. It's not because of empirical evidence. Lack of empirical evidence. There's an overwhelming amount of empirical evidence. This is the problem. You see, if you go in and you start prosecuting these people, they're broke. They're busted because everybody who lives within 50 miles of that place that's killing them, obviously killing them, okay? Many hundreds of times the normal rate of cancer from people that don't live behind this factory. Okay? They're going to go broke because every single person's going to want $5 million punishment. Why? Why punishment? Well, because you see, they set that place up in a black neighborhood, knowing that if they wanted to build a factory, they're going to have to build it here. because these rich white people are not going to let you build a factory over there. You see, that's why you become a politician, to stop that kind of thing. But when you have politicians that facilitate that, okay? They're no better than a tit and ass doctor. They're in it for the fucking money. They don't care about you. They don't care about the people that are being given cancer. My sister died from cancer. We lived next to a refinery. I used to be kept awake at night by the flame in my room. All night long, burning off all their poison. They were allowed, Standard Oil was allowed, every 24 hours to put 64 tons of pollutant into the atmosphere. You see, that's why we needed the EPA, because these fuckers don't care. They will pump poison into your neighborhood until they are made to stop. So what do? They buy your politicians. Look at what happened to solar power in Nevada, okay? All of a sudden, they made it almost impossible for you to put solar panels on your house in Nevada. It was so punishing to do so that I saw a picture on this side of a major street, like Stewart Boulevard, one of those kind of main streets. Every roof had solar panels. And then you cross the street and not a single fucking roof had a solar panel on it because of that law that was passed. Well, guess who that guy was? Guess who the government official for Nevada was? Well, he used to work for that fucking main power company in Nevada. And then he hired two of the lawyers that help him fuck all the people that live in Las Vegas, okay? He helped do that. He hired the two attorneys that retired from the company so that he had a majority vote to do whatever the fuck he wanted. And he got away with it. It was criminal fucking activity, plain and blatant. But no one said anything. Why? Well, because unfortunately, the political arena is so full of ugliness that's why people hate government. That's why people have no faith in the Supreme Court. That's why people have no faith in the EPA. People have no faith in any of the governmental institutions that are supposed to be protecting us, because we all know they're bought and paid for. They are bought and paid for. Period. The EPA dropping these fucking cases. 20 years they've been fighting these fucking guys. 20 years. Okay? So the EPA's duty was to enforce Title 6. That was a provision of the Civil Landmark or the Civil Rights Act of '64. That allowed federal agencies to go in and say, look, you're discriminating by building this plant next to this black neighborhood. If you look at society and would take your rose-colored fucking glasses off, whatever patriot-waving fucking American flag community you live in, okay? Take your little fucking I'm an idiot, blinded person who can't think for myself, take those glasses off and just look at the statistical numbers. How many fucking poisonous refineries are in rich white neighborhoods? And how many are in poor black neighborhoods? And if you're not willing to admit the crime and the tragedy that is happening there, then you are a worthless human being.